Story. From the Golden Tower to the stars amid New York's forest of skyscrapers, Trump Tower gleamed like a jewel with its golden-tinted glass. In the city's chaotic rhythm, this tower was more than a building. It was a symbol. On the top floor, in a sprawling office, Donald Trump sat at his desk. Before him, as always, were a cup of black coffee, a stack of files, a Make America Great Again cap, and a new vision, a luxury hotel on the moon. But this was no ordinary hotel. In Donald's mind, this project would be humanity's first grand step into space. "It's going to be tremendous," he said to himself, flipping through a thick file. "Nobody's thought of building a hotel on the moon, but I did. It'll be the best." The file detailed the Trump Lunar Resort project. Zero-gravity suites, panoramic restaurants overlooking lunar craters, spacewalk simulators, even a spa. Donald envisioned this hotel not just for the elite, but for space enthusiasts and dreamers. "Everyone looks at the stars," he muttered, "but I'm going to take them there." Just then, a knock came at the door. His assistant, Linda, rushed in with a worried expression. "Sir, there's a crowd outside the building. Protesters, hundreds of them. Their signs read, 'Leave the moon alone,' 'Space isn't yours,' and 'No to Trump.'" Donald raised an eyebrow. Then a wide grin spread across his face. "Protesters? Fantastic. That shows how big this project is. Invite them in, Linda. I want to talk to their leader." Linda, stunned, stammered. "But, sir, security won't allow it. The media's out there, recording everything." Donald waved her off. "Security? Media? I grew up in New York, Linda. I can handle crowds and cameras. Bring their leader up. Let's have a coffee. Deal-making is my game." Linda shook her head in resignation and left the room. Soon after, the protesters' leader, 27-year-old environmental activist Mia Alvarez, stepped into Trump's office, dressed in jeans, a faded T-shirt, and a tote bag slung over her shoulder with the words, "Planets aren't for sale." She looked light years away from Donald's glitzy world, but the fire in her eyes caught his attention. "Mr. Trump," she said in a firm voice, "the moon is humanity's shared heritage. Building a hotel there endangers nature, science, and our future. We won't let you do it." Donald leaned back in his chair, sizing Mia up, and replied calmly, "Mia, right? Sit, please. Want some coffee? Organic, from Colombia, the best." Mia, caught off guard by the unexpected courtesy, sat down but declined the coffee. "Thanks, but I'm not here to drink coffee. I'm here to protect the moon from your profit-driven greed." Donald chuckled, not arrogantly, but with the amusement of a man who thrived on challenges. "It'll inspire people to reach for space. Science will advance, new technologies will emerge. Think of the economy, thousands of jobs, new industries, and of course Mia, let's talk straight. Building a hotel on the moon won't destroy the environment. Hotel's restaurant will have a vegan menu. Top chefs, top food." "What do you say?" Mia was both shocked and infuriated by the response. "A vegan menu? Is this a joke? You're talking about digging up the moon's surface to build luxury hotels. You'll destroy craters that need to be preserved for scientific research. Your waste will pollute space. What about your carbon footprint?" Donald, impressed by Mia's passion, knew he was dealing with someone who wouldn't back down easily, a quality he admired. "All right, Mia," he said, pulling a thick file from his desk and handing it to her. "Here's our environmental plan. Recyclable materials, zero waste systems, solar-powered facilities. We worked with NASA's former engineers. If I don't do it right, it won't live up to my brand." Mia took the file and began flipping through it. The plan was far more detailed than she'd expected. Waste management, low-carbon construction techniques, even a protocol to protect lunar craters. But she remained skeptical. "Will you actually follow through, or is this just a PR stunt?" Donald locked eyes with her. "Mia, I keep my word. But this project can't just be mine. It needs people like you at the table. Here's my offer. Join my team as an environmental consultant. Shape this project to your standards, deal?" Mia was floored by the most unexpected proposal of her life. After a moment of silence, she asked, "Why should I trust you?" Donald stood and walked to the wide window, gazing at New York's twinkling lights. "Because I love to win, Mia, but to win, everyone needs to win. If I work with you, this project won't just be mine. It'll be humanity's triumph. And honestly, having someone like you on board will shut the media up." He grinned at the last remark. After hours of internal debate, Mia extended her hand. Fine, Mr. Trump, but I have conditions. 1. 10% of the project's profits go to space research and Earth-based environmental initiatives. 2. Every construction phase on the moon will be overseen by an independent scientific board. 3. You mentioned a vegan menu. That better be real. Donald shook her hand, winking. Deal. But don't forget, the profits will be huge. And the vegan menu? It'll be the best. That day, as the protesters outside Trump Tower began to disperse, Donald and Mia held a press conference. With cameras flashing, Donald took the mic. The Trump Lunar Resort will be a turning point in humanity's space journey. Working with Mia Alvarez, we'll make it environmentally conscious and science-friendly. It'll be the best. Mia, standing beside him, was still dazed but hopeful. In her speech, she said, "This project must prove space is for everyone, not just the wealthy. Mr. Trump and I have an agreement, but I'll be watching him closely." The crowd laughed, including Donald. After the conference, Donald returned to his office. Looking out at New York's lights, he muttered to himself, "You can make a deal with anyone. You just need to get them to, not just the wealthy. Mr. Trump and I have an agreement, but I'll be watching him closely." The crowd laughed, including Donald. After the conference, Donald returned to his office. Looking out at New York's lights, he muttered to himself, "You can make a deal with anyone. You just need to get them to the table." Then he grabbed his phone and tweeted, "Building a hotel on the moon, folks. Eco-friendly, science-friendly, tremendous. Thanks to Mia Alvarez." Trump Lunar Project. Months passed. Mia joined Trump's team, and the project took shape. Donald listened to her ideas in every meeting, occasionally arguing, but often conceding she was right. This girl's sharp, he thought. Mia, meanwhile, was quietly impressed by Donald's energy and determination, though she'd never admit it aloud. Together, they designed a prototype for the Lunar Hotel's foundation. NASA offered support, and an international scientific board was established to oversee construction. One evening, working late in Trump Tower, Mia and Donald took a break. Donald handed her a coffee and said, "You know, Mia, when I invited you up that day, I just wanted to quiet the protesters. But now, this project is bigger than I ever imagined thanks to you." Mia smiled, replying, "And thanks to me, it won't harm the environment." They both laughed. When the project's first phase was complete, the initial lunar module was launched into space. Millions worldwide watched the live broadcast. The foundation of the Trump Lunar Resort was laid. In another press conference, Donald declared, "This isn't just a hotel. It's humanity's courage to reach for the stars." Mia added, "And it can be done with respect for nature." Among New York's skyscrapers, Trump Tower made history once again. But this time, the story wasn't just Donald's, it belonged to Mia, the scientists, the environmentalists, and humanity's shared dream. Back in his office, Donald gazed at the night sky. "The stars," he said to himself, "even they're worthy of my brand."